going back over here to this left-hand navigation bar. And again, I'm planning for my first quarter. So I'm going to click on first quarter. And here are the standards that are listed. We saw first that 6NS2 was there first. Based on data from the previous school year from our cumulative benchmark, I want us to look at 6NS1. So I am going to click the link here for 6NS1. And a separate document for this standard downloads. And so in order to access that document, you will need to open it, either by right-clicking and clicking open, or just by left-clicking on the tab there. Okay, great. So this is a document for 6NS1. Everything that I need to plan for this standard is within this document or within that CNI site. And so we'll talk about some of the different pieces. But I want to go through and look at what the standard is asking. The standard states interpret and compute quotients of fractions. Okay, so I know that interpreting, there must be some real world situations and the students are going to have to tell what those quotients represent. Computing, we're going to actually have the students do some calculations. They're going to divide the fractions because it has quotients of fractions, and solve word problems involving division of fractions by fractions. Okay, so here is my real world application here. They're going to have to solve word problems involving division of fractions by fractions. And then, for example, by using visual fraction models and equations to represent the problem. So not only will they divide fractions, but they will have to model these visually with fraction models. And then there are some other examples here that are written. There's another part in this document too that deals with examples, and I'll talk about that in a second. This cluster, this is a heading that the actual standards fall up under. So 6NS1 falls under apply and extend previous understandings of multiplication and division to divide fractions by fractions. So there could be one standard. 6NS2 and 3 may also fall up under this particular cluster. Math practices. This is the how of mathematics. This is what should be evident in your classes. This is how you are making sure that student engagement is occurring during your lesson. Students are exemplifying these mathematical practices. They are reasoning. They are constructing viable arguments and critiquing each other's reasoning, and they're modeling with the mathematics. Now, these I can statements are the what. This is what they're learning. If we go back to the actual way the standard is written, sometimes it has a lot of words that may not be as easily understood in this format. But these I can statements break down what the learning should consist of. So if I'm looking day one, I know that I can use a visual model to represent the division of fraction by fraction. I can divide fractions by fractions using an algorithm. Again, these are all the I can statements. I may not be able to do all or have the students complete all 6 of these in one day, but these are the 6 I can statements that they should be able to say they are able to do at the end of this particular standard. The essential questions. This is a revamping of the I can statements. Is what you want the students to be able to answer at the end of a lesson. How can a bar diagram help you to understand what it means to divide fractions? And this essential question relates right back to the I can statement. Using a visual model to represent it, then they're able to understand what it means to divide fractions. Here's some other pieces that are crucial to your planning. Prerequisite skills. A lot of times I know we go into a lesson and we feel that students, may not know multiplication facts or different pieces like that. But these are prerequisite skills that students need to be able to master in order to master this standard. So these are ones that when you are looking back at the initial page for 6th grade and it says this is a week of pre-assessment skill review, these are pieces that should be included during that week. And these are pieces that can be included in your, if you have a 5-minute bell ringer, anything like that, whatever pieces you're using to diagnose where they are. And then rigor. And we're going to talk more about this, but there are 3 rigor levels for mathematics. They are procedural skill and fluency, conceptual understanding, and application. And it's important to note that this standard is not just about procedural skills, not just about doing the division. It's about understanding what that division looks like.